Okay, today we are here with Quality Living. I am Amanda Whittemore, the geometric yoga teacher here in town. Also, I am here at your service as a end-of-life doula giver. For many who don't have never heard of that, it's similar to being a birthing doula. And this is an activation of quality to realizing what does living mean. And this comes from end-of-life experiences. Some of us have been pretty close to a near-death experience, and we weren't ready for it yet. And a lot of our healing process comes from realizing that we are very much alive. With these techniques and these gifts that we've been shown, we can support others with peaceful support, ways of living to their fullest potentials. And being an end-of-life doula, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're dying. It means that you're in transition. And I am here to be of service for all those here in the Curry County to bring that to awareness and attention. And with this show, Quality Living, the goal is to remind us how precious each breath is and how important we all are here in this community. And there's a reason that we're all here together. And we're glad that you're hearing us today on this show with KCIW 100.7. We have a very special guest here today with us. We will be having quite a bit of, how would you call it? A bit of musical support from Mr. Greg Russell. And hi, Greg. How are you today?
Hey, Amanda. Thanks for having me. I'm good, thanks.
Good, yeah. Today, how is your day feeling for now?
Just really grateful. Beautiful day in Brookings. Just really grateful to be here, and glad the fog lifted, the sun was out, and just glad to be here playing guitar for you guys and talking about music and what you have to offer the county as well. Right.
And so with the show, we like to ask everybody, what does quality represent to you? How does it move you, or what are ways to activate it within your living experience?
For me, it's kind of doing what resonates with you, what's true to you, and what you're passionate about, and what makes you happy. One of the reasons I moved to Brookings was for a simpler life and just to be more connected with nature and get away from the big city. And to me, that's quality. Kind of just having a simpler, slower paced life has been quality for me.
Mm-hmm. And you find that here in Brookings?
Yeah, absolutely. All along the coast here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's almost like a time capsule, slower paced life, and really appreciate it.
That makes a lot of sense. And tell us, where did you come from?
I'm originally from London, England, and father was Navy, and moved us to San Diego when I was 3 and grew up in San Diego, and was very fortunate. Grew up around the SeaWorld area, Pacific Beach. So I was there most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty fancy area. Did you choose Brookings, or did Brookings choose you?
I think it was a little of both. I was teaching at a music school in McMinnville, Oregon, Central Oregon, and I'd always come down the coast to go visit my family by Bakersfield, my cousins, my dad, grandparents, and just fell in love with the coast. I just feel like I kind of gravitated towards it, as I'm sure you've seen with many people who kind of just gravitate here, especially artistic people, creative people. So it definitely called to me when it felt more like home to me than San Diego in many ways.
Mm-hmm. Like that ocean breath of fresh air, purity, and
yeah, that ruggedness, and Just a smaller population and more laid back atmosphere. I really like all the private local businesses and just like this radio station. It's locally ran. It's really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, here for the Curry Coast community. So with your experiences, how did you find music? How did you become a music teacher?
Well, it goes back to being a kid. My grandpa played guitar for the church and for senior citizen homes. He'd go play for them for free. And my father played my whole life. So I started playing when I was 9. Got into school band. Started playing clubs at 19 in San Diego. And then never thought I would teach, actually. Then a friend came to me and said, "Hey, I want to learn some Jack Johnson. I want to learn banana pancakes." I was like, "All right, I think I can teach you that." So I sat down, taught him that, and realized I was able to teach and had the patience to sit with somebody that was new to guitar and kind of show them that instant gratification that they could go home and kind of learn something fairly quickly and stay interested and pursue a passion. Yeah.
That is quite a talent and a gift to have that self-realization and to trust yourself to be able to give that gift that keeps on giving. And you have a guitar in your hand right now. Do you want to tell us about it?
This guitar?
Yeah.
It's funny. I used to be a Taylor endorsed guitar player. Played Taylor guitars. Loved Taylor guitars. But years after that ended, I tried out a Yamaha, and I just loved this guitar and actually sold my Taylor and got this Yamaha. It just sounds amazing. And shout out to Ernie at the Guitaratorium. Ernie just set it up with a bone nut and saddle and set the action. It sounds amazing.
Ooh, and Ernie is here in Brookings off of Benham, right there in the Seascape building. If anybody wants to go in there and get themselves a guitar, let's hear it how it sounds.
Yeah, so it sounds pretty good.
Well, tell us about your music career because you are quite the musician.
Oh, yeah. Just was in lots of different bands. Started playing clubs in the late 90s and jumped around quite a few different types of bands, rock bands, blues bands. Got into a really heavy band that ended up getting a record deal with Kottonmouth Kings record label, Suburban Noize Records in 2002. Next thing you know, I'm on tour with Kottonmouth for their Rolling Stone tour. And I was just going all over the nation with them, and I couldn't believe every show was sold out. They had a great following, and it was just amazing exposure for me as a musician, and they were just amazing people, and started getting a great friendship with them. And Daniel Rogers, who's also Judge D, he's a rapper with them. We became really good friends. And started working together musically. We were kind of musical soulmates. And so from there, I started working on his records and started contributing music to Kottonmouth Kings records, like Hidden Stash and Sunrise Sessions. And it just kind of blossomed from there. And we still work together. We just did a side project that has Tommy Lee from Motley Crue on it, a song called Flying Blind. Working on a new Kottonmouth Kings record to come out the first of next year. And then an acoustic record. His uncle Kenny Rogers said, "Hey, you should do an acoustic record." And so we started working on that and found that we had a really good sound together. And yeah, it's really cool. He's like one of my best friends, and we have a really good chemistry together. So kind of doing a lot of different projects. And now he's a full-time member of Kottonmouth Kings. So he's been on the road with them, and I'm kind of contributing to the records studio-wise, and I might do a few West Coast shows with him. Okay.
It's quite a big taking taking. It's a lot of commitment. How, we hear about all the sweet, juicy stuff, and how smooth, is it always super smooth, or do you have, how does music play into keeping you guys on track, or do you ever go off track, or how does the band get wild? How do you guys really keep keep the project focused?
Well, you know, we're older now. I mean, we're in our 40s, so everyone's married, and they're more focused on family and their kids and their wives, and so it's definitely slowed down a lot. And just staying true to yourself and why you did this to begin with, right? So that's the big thing, is staying true to your core and your message. What's your message to your fans? And everything else will fall in place.
That is pure quality. Oh, wow. That is so beautiful. Nice. Good. And are you feeling up to playing a little something for the listeners? Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to play a few songs that I wrote for my solo album. And some I might be doing with Daniel Rogers as well. Okay. But this first one's called What You Could Have Been. Between all the faces and the places that you've seen, you left a piece of yourself behind. But what did you expect to find when living through another person's eyes? But looking behind me, it never got me too far. Keep holding on to who you really are. Never late to become what you could have been. I'll take the good with the bad and start it all over again. It's never late to become what you could have been. 'Cause even setting sun's gonna rise again. And each day bleeds into the next one till it's all a blur to me. I'm staring at the clock, watching minutes slip away into the dark. But looking behind me, it never got me too far. Keep holding on to who you really are. It's never late to become what you could have been. I'll take the good with the bad and I'll start it all over again. It's never late to become what you could have been. 'Cause even setting sun's gonna rise again. 'Cause even setting sun will rise again. Will rise again. Rise again, 'cause even setting suns will rise again, will rise again, will rise again. It's never late to become what you could have been. I'll take the good with the bad and start it all over again. Oh, even setting sun's gonna rise again. Thank you. Wow. Holy heavens. How many years did it take to produce that? That song... Probably about a week. Really? And you wrote the lyrics? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I wrote that when I was 27. Was just going through some stuff in my life and wanted to write like a good positive message that people could relate to, that I could relate to. And it does that. It does exactly that. It gives, I instantly could see all of the listeners out there jumping up and down and dancing around their living room, or, you know, pulling over on the side of the road because we're here at the beautiful ocean and just turning the radio up and getting out and dancing as the song came on. I really felt like this, you know, almost jumped out of my chair, the type of energy. Feels really good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
How about you want to go for another one?
Yeah. This next one is called Part of Me.
Okay.
Somewhere I'll see you around. Out there on a distant cloud. 'Cause summer's gone and you're still changing. Autumn's here and I'm left thinking how. Is blowing and it gets colder, the rain is come, I'm 1 year older now. Just like the leaves that left the tree, you were a part of me. And someday you'll find your way home. Some way, like a seed that's grown. 'Cause summer's gone and you're still changing. Autumn's here and I'm left thinking how. The wind is blowing and it gets colder, the rain has come, I'm 1 year older now. Like the leaves that left the tree, you were a part of me. Just like the leaves that left the tree, you were a part of me. Watch her as she floats way up high, painting colors in the sky. She's never come, she's never coming down. Watch her as she floats way up high, painting colors in the sky. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Summer's gone and you're still changing. Autumn's here and I'm left thinking how. Is blowing and it gets colder, the rain has come, I'm 1 year older now. Just like the leaves that left the tree, you were a part of me.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is soulful.
Thank you.
Yeah. How did that one come about?
Was going through a breakup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one that I'm working on with Daniel Rogers. He's been singing on that one too. It sounds amazing. So
yeah,
I'm pretty excited about it.
Pretty emotional.
Yeah.
That's something we can all connect with and relate to, you know. Where do you see yourself? Where can we find you performing these days?
August 5th, I'll be playing at the Art on the Coast Festival at the Port. They're gonna have a ton of different booths and really cool artists and different musicians playing. So I'll be at that stage right behind Zola's at, I believe, 2 p.m. August 5th.
Okay. Is your music available online?
Yes. Yes, we have quite a bit of new music on YouTube currently. Spotify, Apple Music as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you see yourself going? Do you envision yourself retiring as a musician and keeping this as something that you do for always? Or is there anything else in your career path that you are pursuing?
I want to finish a solo record. Want to contribute to this new Kottonmouth King record starting the first of next year, at least 3-4 songs on that one. I'm in the process of building a recording studio here in town. It's going to be called Spyglass Sound. I want a place where artists can come and lay down their ideas and their songs and be able to contribute that way locally. And keep teaching and just kind of keep making music, and wherever it leads me, wherever it goes, kind of go that way. It's hard, right? It's hard sometimes to predict, but as long as you're true to yourself and keep writing, everything's going to fall into place.
Right. True to yourself, true to ourselves. It's believe it or not, harder to do than most people think that they're doing. So many of us say, sure, we're being true to ourselves, but we're not being honest to ourselves. And that's something that I have a talk about quite often. The difference between truth and honesty. Do they equal each other? Can we honestly say that we're being truthful? Because what our truth is may not be a full truth. And we may not be being honest about our truth. And that's when we realize the difference between lying to ourselves to believe ourselves so that we are staying truthful.
Yeah, it takes a good amount of self-awareness, right?
Completely, yes. And with that, I think for my own personal path, it took a huge amount of clarity and removing elements that I labeled as medicine, or that I labeled as supportive, or that I labeled as things that are helping me, when in actuality they were hurting me and they were tainting me and they were suffocating me, such as smoking or drinking alcohol. I'm all for everyone doing everything they want to do. However, for my own self, I was dependent on that and saying that those things are medicine or they're supporting me. Maybe they were for the time being. However, till I became clear from any of those things, I started to realize the difference between being true to myself, which is huge, and being truthful or being honest, which I really was lying to myself. And it takes a lot to say that. And to physically do that, to really live true to ourselves. And every day we get to learn, what does that mean today? Because it may be different from yesterday.
Absolutely. And every day you get more clarity, right? As to that. And so, yeah, great for you that you got out of that. And because a lot of people don't, right? And sometimes it's one of the drinking it's almost similar to depression, right? It's one of those things where a doctor's not going to say, hey, you have this. It's not always seen on the surface, right?
Or a lot of us, honestly, it's difficult to go to the doctor and say that these things are honestly or truthfully happening. We can say, my arm hurts or my calf hurts, but in connection with all things, it's actually our heart. Our heart is hurt and our emotions are hurt, and we suffocate and smother that with anything we can to make it go away. And the doctor doesn't see those things. He doesn't see a physical injury. And so with music and with these writings that we do and with these vocal expressions and instrumental actions, it creates a pathway to heal. Absolutely.
I mean, if you think about it, everything's vibrational, right? So with those frequencies, it's the universal language, and it can heal so many things.
And it does. And we're
It
very
does.
grateful for your guidance and for your talent that you teach and that you give to others. It's extremely meaningful. And I think that, recently we've had a lack of music, and especially here in Brookings, we are so grateful when people play and when they come into town because, the winter times we get snowed in or, the roads get wild and washed out.
Right.
And we're here in town with each other, and music is the one thing that brings us together and keeps us happy. Eating, of course. However,
right.
Really, though, to physically get up and move our bodies and move through those emotions and allow the music to guide us and be okay with those things and let them go or direct them in a proper direction.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a great outlet. And we're very fortunate to have so many talented people in this town. Like you said, when it's 30 degrees out and at least we have so many awesome venues here where people can collaborate and get together and share their creativity and their outlets.
Yes, we thank every single one of the venues who let us play music and dance there with them, and thank the owners and the musicians who make it all happen. We have August 5th coming up, Art at the Port.
Yeah, Art on the Coast Festival. Mm-hmm.
Art on the Coast Festival. Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you get involved with them?
The lovely woman who runs it, I can't remember her name on the top of my head. I'm so sorry. Great woman. She just called me and said, "Hey, pick a day and pick a time slot." I said, "Okay, great." So she made it easy.
Good. Nice. Are there any other venues in town where we can find you or people can come and hear your gift that you have?
I'm planning on playing actually Misty Mountain. Mark and his son have been really cool to me, and they said play there anytime. Probably the Ox I'll be booking. Mr. Ed's in Port Orford.
Yeah, good.
That's a cool spot.
Mm-hmm. We are fans of Mr. Ed's, and if anybody wants to carpool, we highly recommend it. They're an early venue. They have great pizza. They they close and they're done at 9 p.m. Doors are shut at 9. So it's an early venue. If people want to just go up for sunset, have a dinner, enjoy the music, highly recommended to carpool. And is there anything else that you would like to say to our listeners here today?
Just thank you so much for the platform. And I just feel really grateful for a radio station like this in our small town. And I'm just grateful to play for you guys and share music. And thank you so much.
Of course. It's a gift that keeps giving. And when we connect with those frequencies, we love to amplify them. So thank you for being available and sharing your gifts.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it.
Of course. And that today is Mr. Greg Russell. And we are here with Quality Living on KCIW. Thank you.